Hey, Comic Brook. Feels like it's been a while. Okay. Yeah, I think I was sort of saying that we haven't seen you around in a while. What, been too busy with your own life? Hey, boyfriend. Horribly depressed and ate too much cheese. Those things are not shade. Just pair of scissors. Just clipped. And actually, Comic Brook, I suspect the too much cheese probably is tied to the depression. Like, you're depressed, so you're eating a lot of cheese. Hey, Fruitfly. Looks good. It does look a lot better. It definitely looks a lot better. Don't recognize these usernames. That's how long it's been. Hey, Brooke. Right. So Ghost of Fruitfly is Buttercup. I'll give you that one for free. It's not shaved. I mean, it's just trimmed. In the room voice. Jenna also had changed her name. Oh, that's what you mean. Um, it'll be interesting to see if, yeah, Jenna had changed her voice to Paneer Spinach. We'll have to wait and see if she still has that as her name. Not remembering J Dot anymore. No, she had been remembering. Was it Cobra? For a short while, it had been remembering Cobra, but then she had a spinach paneer. So she needed her name to honor the spinach paneer. We'll give it a few more minutes. See if anyone else comes in. Hope Unk shows up. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully. We'll see. Because Unk had to see her doctor today. Female hygiene trivia or male hygiene? I want an answer to be smegma. See, I don't think I do want smegma as an answer, so... Kind of leaning against that one. Leaning against that category just a little bit. Unincorporated territories? Sure. Food was live twice today. That why boyfriend is thinking about smegma? Hi, Scrappy. There it is. Scab. It's a scab. Oh, by the way, the reason I'm a little bit late coming live tonight, Uncle Buck, you are alive. Nice. Uncle Buck lives. Yeah, I was going to say, the reason I'm a little bit late coming live today, I actually kind of forgot that I needed to shower. It's like 10 to 8, and I was like, yeah, I'm about to get ready to come live, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot to shower. Too much time browsing my phone. Isn't showering like your only task for the day? Yep, pretty much. Exotic fruits. Yeah, I mean, it's basically my only task. Yeah, I do it every couple days, every 2 days, or every other day. And yeah, I just totally forgot that I needed to do it today. And yes, fill us in, Uncle Buck. How'd it go? Need surgery? Oh. Have a hernia and a torn muscle in the back. Oof. Well, that sounds horrible. So at some point you will be missing a few lives, I imagine, then. Well. See if you can have the surgery scheduled for like a Saturday. That way you should be feeling good enough by the Thursday to be able to join for date and everything. I could roll cancel the rebound. Because people are fucking... Because conservatives are the whiniest fucking people on the face of the goddamn planet. God damn it, missed it twice. That one I got, though. Yes. Seems I'm so strong that I end up things that mean using my muscles without doing much of anything. So comic book. The first category you suggested was undisputed territories. There's nothing for unincorporated territories. Getting things. There's disputed territories. Overseas territories, colonies and territories. U.S. territories. Are they countries? So, any of those stand out to you, comic book? Or should I move on to your second category of exotic fruits? Just unsubbed from Hassan, I'm over it. Okay, but Israel did just bomb Qatar to kill Hamas negotiators. And they're also trying to completely empty out Gaza City. Yeah. They are not... Israel is not interested in peace. Israel just wants to fucking cleanse Gaza. Ethnic cleanse. Anyway, exotic fruits from around the world. We'll do exotic fruits from around the world. This first fruit has sort of a stinky reputation. It is native to Southeast Asia, and people have claimed it smells like sewage, but tastes heavenly. Which fruit is this that will never be invited into a fruit salad? Is it a dragon fruit, a lychee, a star fruit, or durian? Lychee or lychee? Lychee, I think. So yes, the two people who guessed are correct. It is durian. Talent can sing for durian in Thailand. Apparently, it's banned from most public places in Indonesia, Malaysia, and elsewhere. Featured in the gross food round of an episode of Fear Factor. It's unusual for something to smell terrible, but taste good. Because smell and taste are very closely associated. So usually if something smells bad, you're not going to like the taste of it either. Smells like rotten onions and dirty diapers. Despite this next fruit's most common name, it is actually a melon and looks something like okra when cut open. It has a citrusy taste and only grows natively in one desert on Earth. Which tasty fruit is this? Chinese gooseberry, mangosteen, Argentinian apple, or African cucumber? Chinese gooseberry, mangosteen, Argentinian apple, or African cucumber? It's a melon. Looks like okra when cut open. Citrusy taste. And 9 people watching and only 2 people actually taking any guesses. And yes, it is the African cucumber. Also called the African horned melon, jelly melon, melano, or the blowfish melon. Grows in the Kalahari Desert of Botswana. This next fruit is the national fruit of Jamaica, but it is popular elsewhere in the Caribbean. But be careful, amateur fruit lovers. Only eat the yellow inside, as the inner red seeds are extremely poisonous. What is this delicious and deadly fruit? Buddha's hand, lime, ackee, or rambutan? Buddha's hand, lime, ackee, or rambutan? National fruit of Jamaica. Inner red seeds are poisonous. Anyone else want to take any guesses? Ackee and saltfish is delicious. It is the ackee, actually native to West Africa. So yeah, ackee. This fruit is quite popular and ubiquitous in the Amazon, but it is also well liked in Southeast Asia. Chad has never dated a Jamaican man, and it shows. This fruit is quite popular and ubiquitous in the Amazon, but is also well liked in Southeast Asia. It has a variety of uses, including body paint, and can be used as a cheaper and natural alternative to the food coloring beta-carotene. What slightly bitter fruit is this? Urusu, mangosteen, papaya, kiwano. Urusu, mangosteen, papaya, kiwano. Mangosteen. Hey, Benna. You're guessing mangosteen. Boyfriend guesses papaya. That would be a valid point, boyfriend, if the answer was papaya. It's not actually papaya. It's urusu. Urusu plants are also called lipstick trees because indigenous people used it for body paint. They also mix it with other sweeter foods to make marinades. This next fruit also comes from South America, where it can be used to make wine. When eaten whole, it is very crunchy and sweet. Because the trees this fruit grows on take a long time to mature, they are often used in bonsai. Which fruit is this that also appears on the coat of arms of Contagem, Brazil? Starfruit, Kabuka, Jabuticaba, Rambutan. Starfruit, Kambuka, Jabuticaba, Rambutan. South America used to make wine, crunchy and sweet. Trees take a long time to mature. Jabu, starfruit, bananas. Uncle Buck's guess was correct. It is the Jabuticaba. Apparently, it's also anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer compounds. Up next is a fruit whose name gives it high expectations. The miracle berry. The miracle berry is found primarily in West Africa. But why is the miracle berry thus named? It can cure cancer. It can make sour fruits taste sweet. It can cure blindness. Or it can unspoil rotten food. Cure cancer, make sour fruits taste sweet, cure blindness, or unspoil rotten food. No, it's not ackee. It's a different one. Sour to sweet. Sour fruits taste sweet. You are correct. You are both correct. Vanna and Uncle Buck, you are both correct. The only option there that is actually realistic. Discuss the rarest fruit, your plums. This next fruit can be found in several different places around the world, from the Andes to the Mediterranean. Hey, Rebecca. It looks something like an avocado, but tastes like bubblegum. What fruit is this? Kambuka, young coconut, urusu, cherimoya. Found from the Andes to the Mediterranean. Looks like an avocado, tastes like bubblegum. Kambuka, young coconut, urusu, cherimoya. Can tell Zach left it. Hey, Lake Atman. And yes, it is in fact cherimoya. Assuming I may be mispronouncing it. Are your plums right? You better watch out for this fruit. It is the largest tree-borne fruit in the world. It grows in tall trees and can weigh up to 80 pounds. So if you were ever in Bangladesh, where this is the national fruit, be careful and make sure one does not land on your head. What is this heavy fruit? Mangosteen? This person really loves mangosteen, by the way. Mangosteen, jackfruit, giant pear, or dragon fruit? Mangosteen, jackfruit, giant pear, or dragon fruit? Weighs up to 80 pounds. And national fruit of Bangladesh. Jackfruit, jackfruit, jackfruit. Had jackfruit in Thailand, it was okay. Okay, so yeah, yep, it's the jackfruit. The Monstera deliciosa. Another term for my nuts. The Monstera deliciosa is another dangerous fruit. It can be toxic if eaten unripe. Is mangosteen a Jewish mango? It is native to Central America, but has spread to other places like Hawaii and the Seychelles. Although it is a fruit, the Monstera deliciosa looks like what vegetable? Potato, rutabaga, ear of corn, or carrot? Potato, rutabaga, an ear of corn, or a carrot? Taking Breezy's answer. Nickelbuck says rutabaga. Potato. I don't know why I like saying it that way. I don't know why I like saying it as potato. Anyway, boyfriend was right. It is the ear of corn. It looks like an ear of corn. Potato. Seems like Latin America has more than its fair share of exotic fruit. The final fruit of this quiz also originates there. The black sapote has a gooey inside and tastes nothing like any other fruit. Potato. Fernanda. What is the black sapote also known as? Chocolate pudding fruit, bubblegum fruit, apple pie fruit, cream of wheat fruit. What is the black sapote also known as? Chocolate pudding fruit, hey Killface, bubblegum fruit, apple pie fruit, or cream of wheat fruit? Love, love, love my cream of wheat. And yeah, boyfriend knows her exotic fruits. Only got, what, 2 wrong? What do you get, like 8 out of 10, I think, boyfriend? You got the Urusu one wrong. Shit, might have only been 1 out of 10 wrong. You might have only gotten 1 wrong. You might have gotten 9 out of 10, actually. I know you got the Urusu one wrong. You guessed papaya. The answer was Urusu. You got the jackfruit one right, didn't you? Pretty sure you got. Yeah, you got the jackfruit one. So yeah, I think you got. I think you ended up getting 9 out of 10. You know your exotic fruits. You didn't say jackfruit. I was pooping. Ah, fair enough. So 8 out of 10, but one of them you missed because you were busy. So fair enough. Considering 3 other people did get the jackfruit, you probably would have gotten the jackfruit, I assume. And here's an interesting one. Here's an interesting looking one from is he getting rid of eating fruit? Celebrity? Yeah, I guess we can. Make jackfruit tacos all the time. They're like pulled pork. I popped over to Britannica because Britannica has quizzes. Here's an interesting one. Who's missing quiz? These pop culture groups are short one person. So you have to guess the name of the person who's left out of the group. So, for example, question 1. George, Elaine, Cosmo, and who? Let me say my vegetarian daughter eats jackfruit. George, Elaine, Cosmo, who? The options, by the way, Thomas, Wilbur, Jerry, or Anthony. And yes, obviously, Jerry. Well, this one's fucking easy. Dorothy, Tin Man, Cowardly Lion, and who? Do you like Jerry Seinfeld? Not really now. Dorothy, Tin Man, Cowardly Lion, and whom? Cosmo Kramer is his full name yet. You'd think being a fruit fly, I would have known some of that fruit trivia. To be fair, fruit fly, you're a ghost of a fruit fly in my bedroom, and I don't eat fruits. The options are Scarecrow, Garden Gnome, Leprechaun, and Cheshire Cat. Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld. I mean, his comedy's not really my thing. His comedy's not really my style. And also, like, he's one of those people who bitches about, oh, you can't say things anymore. You can't, political correctness, you can't say things. I got an ad, so it broke up. Anyway, the answer obviously is Scarecrow. Doc, Happy, Sneezy, Dopey, Grumpy, Sleepy, and Whom. Doc, Happy, Sneezy, Dopey, Grumpy, Sleepy, and Whom. I guess what else? No, it was Dorothy. So who's the final dwarf? Doc, Happy, Sneezy, Dopey, Grumpy, Sleepy, and who is the last dwarf? It's our BPD. Once I give the options, you will all be like, "Oh, right, right, right." I just want to see if if anyone here knows without me having to give the options. Grumpy. Grumpy was in there. I did mention Grumpy. Watch replay. Okay, fair enough. All right, so here's the options: amiable, arrogant, bashful, or insatiable. Sleepy, dopey, dot, grumpy. That's all I know. Amiable, arrogant, bashful, or insatiable. Obviously, bashful. And yes, Uncle Buck did get it. All right, this is a good one. This is a good one. I like this one. Sophia, Blanche, Rose, and whom? Sophia, Blanche, Rose, and who is the last one? Who's missing from that group? Maud. It's not Maud, no. The other golden girl. Options are Emily, Dorothy, Constance, and Wanda. And yet, Dorothy! She was Maud before she was Dorothy. Ah, I see. Dorothy, my soulmate in another dimension. Okay, here's a good one. Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, and whom? Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo. April. The options are Donatello, Bellini, Botticelli, and Rembrandt. Man, Rembrandt would have been a bad choice for Ninja Turtle. Rembrandt would just not have gone along with the like that. Just would not have fit the themes. Like that's just would not have fit with the rest of the names. Anyway, yeah. Donatello. Remy sounds awesome. Yeah. And now this question's all for me. This is a question for me. Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, the Human Torch, and who? Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, the Human Torch, and who? The Rock guy? The Rock is an option here. And me. Why are you ignoring all your quick answers? Because they're correct. Aquaman. The options here. The Blob, The Rock, The Object, The Thing. Ben Grimm, yep. The Blob, The Rock, The Object, The Thing. And it is, and as Killface said, it is The Thing. Ben Grimm, The Thing. Personally, I also would have accepted She-Hulk, personally. Because she did replace The Thing for a good couple of years. She was his replacement for a good couple of years there. Yeah, she's... Yeah, this is the thing. Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, and whom? Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, and whom? Who's missing? Maggie. Santa's little helper. That's the question. Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, and who's missing? Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, and who's the last one missing? Krusty the Clown, Swaggle. Santa's little helper. The option, for the record, the options are Barney, Maggie, Patty, and Mo. Not gonna lie, sometimes feels like Mo is would have fit in there. Eat at O's. Anyway, the answer obviously is Maggie. Maggie Simpson. Ooh, okay. That's from a mighty wind. All right. So you're going to have to pay attention for this one because there's a lot of names here. So you're going to kind of have to pay a little bit of attention here to figure out at least until I actually say like the options. But Aragorn, Boromir, Gandalf, Gimli, Merry, Pippin, Legolas, Frodo. And who? Aragorn, Boromir, Gandalf, Gimli, Merry, Pippin, Legolas, Frodo, and who? Gandalf was the third one mentioned there. Not Faramir, no. It's not Faramir. It is not Gollum. The hot, sexy big orc. Say it one more time. Aragorn, Boromir, Gandalf, Gimli, Merry, Pippin, Legolas, Frodo. What name did not get included in there? Oz. Sam. The options are Harry, Ben, Sam, and Luke are the options. Harry, Ben, Sam, and Luke are the options. The best, it's the real hero of the story, yeah. Sam is the one not mentioned. The real hero of that story. Sam legitimately is like the true hero of Lord of the Rings. Sam, he absolutely did. And he walks up to Frodo and just straight up bricks in his mouth. That's from Clerks 2. I did watch Clerks 2. I didn't find it particularly great. Next one. Monica, Joey, Chandler, Rachel, Ross, and who? Monica, Joey, Chandler, Rachel, Ross, and who? Phoebe, Thebes. The options are Melinda, Bonnie, Phoebe, and Fiona. And yes, it was Phoebe. Carrie, Miranda, Charlotte, Grandma, and her twin Ursula. That was such a cool thing, honestly. Like I actually really liked that that they did that in Friends, because like it linked Friends to Mad About You in a way that I thought was actually kind of clever. Sex in the City ain't my thing. Yeah. Carrie, Miranda, Charlotte, Samantha, Ursula. Oh yeah, even Mona, Karen, Samantha, or Linda. And yes, Samantha. Sex and the City. Eric, Stan, Kyle. Eric, Stan, Kyle. Blank. Kenny, Butters, Chad. Stewie, Roger, Kenny, or Ben. The options listed. The options are Stewie, Roger, Kenny, or Ben. Even though Randy's the best character. And yeah, it's Kenny. One thing I do... Them bastards killed Kenny. I do kind of dislike the fact that Randy got increasingly stupid as the series went along. I don't know. Frankly, there's a lot I dislike about South Park. Yeah. Okay, this one actually is kind of tough. Peter, Ray, Egon, and who? Peter, Ray, Egon, and who? I was not with ChatGPT in one of the new episodes. Ugh. I don't know what those even are. Ghostbusters! Winston. Yeah, Venkman. Peter Venkman, I think, right? I believe it's Peter Venkman. Winston and Ray. Ray was mentioned. And yeah. Winston, Thurston, Dexter, or Howard? Winston, Thurston, Dexter, or Howard? Peter Venkman, Egon Spengler, Ray Stantz, Winston Zeddemore. Did you get that off the top of your head, Killface? Like, did you just know that? Spengler. Did you know that, or did you, like, just look that up real quick? You did? You did look it up? Anyway, yeah, the answer is Winston. Russia's attacking Poland. Yep, I did see that. Poland's had to like mobilize its air force to shoot down some of the drones. It's fucked up. Anyway, Winston. Ooh, oh. Okay, now we're getting a tough one. This one this one no one might get without the clues. I don't know if anyone will actually just know this one. Groucho, Chico, Gummo, and who? Groucho, Chico, Gummo, and who? What name's missing from that one? Carl. I do like that answer. Harpo. Bingo. So the options listed are Pesto, Bingo, Harpo, and Jumbo. Not Zeppo, no. Hey, Super. Pesto, Bingo, Harpo, or Jumbo? So yeah, good job, Uncle Buck. Uncle Buck knows her Marx Brothers. Gummo was replaced by Zeppo. So Gummo. Uh, Gummo was one of the originals. He left, and then Zeppo came in to replace him. Harpo makes me think of James' son from The Sopranos. Eh. All right, this is a fun one. Blinky, Pinky, Inky, who? Blinky, Pinky, Inky. Who's missing from that group? Harpo? Yep, Harpo. One of the original four. Poe. Do. It's the ghosts from Pac-Man, but there were 4 ghosts. So who was the 4th ghost? All right, so here's the options: Winky, Poindexter, Melvin, or Clyde. Winky, Poindexter, Melvin, or Clyde. Winky, Clyde, Clyde. And yeah, it's Clyde. The last one, yeah. The fourth ghost is named Clyde. Hey, here's another one. Here's another one just for me. Honestly, I don't think anyone. I don't think I'll actually be kind of surprised if anyone gets it without the clues. Hulk, Thor, the Wasp, Iron Man, and who? Hulk, Thor, the Wasp, Iron Man, and who? Watching Janice shoots Richie, you can see someone's hand on the table holding his chair and pushing it back. Not Vision. Hulk, Thor, the Wasp, Iron Man, and who? The question, Killface. One more time. Hulk, Thor, the Wasp, Iron Man, and who? Wanda. Not Wanda. Ant-Man. Captain America. Not actually Captain America. The options listed will give it away. Batman, Ant-Man, Superman, or Wonder Woman are the options listed. Which I feel like that's cheating. Like I feel like that makes it way too easy. Batman, Ant-Man, Superman, or Wonder Woman. And like the fact that like Hulk, Thor, Wasp, Iron Man, those are all Marvel heroes. Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are all DC. So using those 3 feels like it makes the question way too easy. The answer is Ant-Man. It is the original Avengers in the comics. Captain America joined a few issues later. Issue 4. Captain America joined in issue 4. Few issues after that, the team broke up except for Captain America. That was when Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, and Hawkeye joined up. Vision joined a couple of years after that. I want to say 66? Maybe 67? '68. A little bit later than I thought. 1968. It was Ant-Man, yes. It was Ant-Man. Your first guess actually was correct. It was Ant-Man. Like I said, it was the original 5 Avengers from the comics. All right, so uh, boyfriend did suggest celebrity trivia. Yeah, this one works. All right. Popular celebrities trivia quiz. They're popular celebrities, so hopefully it'll be pretty easy. Which celebrity was married to Nicole Kidman and has now achieved the impossible by marrying and divorcing again after having a daughter? Was married to Nicole Kidman, achieved the impossible by marrying and divorcing again after having a daughter. And yeah, obviously Tom Cruise. Question 2. Who is about to go get some more water? Back in a moment. All right. The actual question 2. What is the name of the celebrity mom who is desperately in love with her twins, Eden and Savannah? What is the name of the celebrity mom who took their Tylenol? Uncle Buck's Corner! What is the name of the celebrity mom who is desperately in love with her twins, Eden and Savannah? Nicolette Sheridan, Julia Roberts, Marcia Cross, or Terry Hatcher? Nicolette Sheridan, Julia Roberts, Marcia Cross, or Terry Hatcher? She was on Desperate Housewives. And it is actually Marcia Cross. All these women have twins. Yeah, but her twins are Eden and Savannah. And also, Desperate was supposed to link you to. You're supposed to think of like, oh, which of those celebrities was in something that had Desperate in the title? This celebrity was very young when she started her career, starring in movies such as The Cat in the Hat, 2003, Dreamer, 2005, and Hide and Seek, 2005. Dakota Fanning, Elle Fanning, Abigail Breslin, or Dakota Breslin? Starred in Cat in the Hat, Dreamer, and Hide and Seek. Dakota Fanning, Elle Fanning, Abigail Breslin, or Dakota Breslin? Dakota Fanning, and yeah, Dakota Fanning. Dakota Fanning. Why didn't they list Twilight? Probably because she was, again, a bit older when she got. I mean, not older, but probably because, like, that one, she wasn't still a child when she was in that one in Twilight. For this one, the point was like, she was still an actual child when she was in those movies. I am Sam. Which star is best friends with her once TV show co-star and has been married to Brad Pitt? She was a child in that. Might have made it too obvious. Yeah, which star is best friends with her once TV show co-star and has been married to Brad Pitt? Jennifer Aniston, Lisa Kudrow, Courtney Cox Arquette, or Angelina Jolie? Isn't she actually just Courtney Cox? She and David Arquette split, right? So she's just Courtney Cox again, right? Must be an old quiz. Anyway, yeah, Jennifer Aniston. What's the name of the hilarious comedian who has a history of great movies, such as 2003's The Haunted Mansion, and a history of several wives? Jim Murphy, Jim Carrey, Eddie Murphy, or Drew Carey? And yeah, Eddie Murphy. This real life smiley teen doubles her life as a TV star and a pop sensation. Which Disney Channel star am I talking about? This real life smiley teen doubles her life as a TV star and a pop sensation. Which Disney Channel star am I talking about? Hannah Montana is one of the options listed. Miley Cyrus is one of the options listed. Emily Osmond, Miley Cyrus, Raven, or Hannah Montana? Smiley Ray Cyrus. And yeah, Miley Cyrus. Which Canadian-born TV star usually finds herself lost in her work and also had her house burned down in a huge fire in 2007? Jesus Christ, what a fucking whiplash that one is. Emily DeRaven, Maggie Grace, Yoon Jin Kim, Evangeline Lilly. Emily DeRaven, Maggie Grace, Yoon Jin Kim, or Evangeline Lilly. And it is Evangeline Lilly. You're lost. Evangeline Lilly was on the show Lost, and also her house burned down. What is the name of the celebrity who married Tanya Hayden in 2006 and had his first potential rocker son, Sam? Celebrity who married Tanya Hayden in 2006 and had his first potential rocker son, Sam. Ben Affleck, Ben Stiller, Jack Black, or Will Ferrell? Ben Affleck, Ben Stiller, Jack Black, or Will Ferrell? It is Jack Black. The potential rocker is the giveaway there, because Jack Black, famous for his movies, but also for his music with Tenacious D and School of Rock. This angel started her career as a tiny kid in an Alien movie, but now she's all grown up, starring in movies like Fever Pitch and Never Been Kissed. This angel started her career as a tiny kid in an Alien movie. Lowercase a, by the way. Lowercase alien. But now she's all grown up, starring movies like Fever Pitch and Never Been Kissed. Drew Barrymore, Jessica Simpson, Jessica Alba, or Cameron Diaz? Drew Barrymore, Jessica Simpson, Jessica Alba, or Cameron Diaz? And yeah, Drew Barrymore, because she started in E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Then proceeded to have an exceptionally fucked up childhood. And finally, which celebrity is a close friend of Tim Burton and has starred in many movies with skilled, weird roles. She was a fire starter and divorced her parents. Which was probably the right choice for her to make, frankly. Because they sure as shit weren't doing anything to protect her. And yeah, obviously, shit heel Johnny Depp. Hey, Killface. Kramer vs. Kramer and Firestarter were her movies. Okay. I thought you meant that she had got an actual divorce from her parents. Hi, Feeder. Yeah, I don't give a shit. Yeah, Beanie Babies 2.0. Kinda. That's kind of my attitude. That it's the same thing as Beanie Babies, same thing as Cabbage Patch dolls. Yeah, they're trying to do the same shit as that. Still have all my Beanie Babies. The Boo Boos will never be as cute. All right, this one seems interesting. I clicked on just surprise me. So this is just like a random quiz. Who beat the rap? Can you figure out who made it through a serious trial with little to no consequence based on my poetic posing? So yeah, this one, it's limericks. Nope. Oh, come on. This one's fun. It's limericks. Although each one does give a lot of options, potential answers. I don't do poetry. Fair. I'll do a couple. I'll do a couple just because they're kind of funny. The daughter accused and absolved of a crime with the parents involved. According to facts, there was use of an axe. Who murdered them never resolved. The daughter accused and absolved of a crime with the parents involved. According to facts, there was use of an axe. Who murdered them never resolved. And yeah, Lizzie Borden. Let's see. Let's see if people remember this one. Actually, this was a big one back in the day. This was a long time ago, though. Man, I totally forgot about this case. America just could not stay calm as they watched this most hated mom accused of the slaughter of her 2-year-old daughter. The not guilty was truly a bomb. Casey Anthony. Yeah, Casey Anthony. I totally forgot about that case. I thought it was a trunk. Yep. Yeah, her daughter, decomposing body was in the trunk of her car. Or proof that a decomposing proof that the decomposing body was in the trunk of her car, and the body was found not far from the house, wrapped in plastic with traces of duct tape around her mouth. His ex-wife and her friend were found dead. On the telly, we watched as he fled. The gloves didn't fit when it came down to it. Thus the verdict of guilty unsaid. Susan Smith killed 5 of her kids. Don't remember that one. His ex-wife and her friend were found dead. On the telly, we watched as he fled. The gloves didn't fit when it came down to it. Thus the verdict of guilty unsaid. Yep. OJ! Classic one. If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. All right, one more. One more of this category, and then we'll move on to something else. His Neverland Ranch was the space where suspected molesting took place. The details seemed funny. Were they after his money? His acquittal then ended the case. Hoping for a Charles Manson question. Well, he wasn't acquitted. Charles Manson did not, he went to prison for life. I think I may remember she was said to the media. Been starting to type JonBenet Ramsey a few times. No, it was the category, the topic. The idea was people charged, people accused of serious crimes who ended up being acquitted. All right, how about this category? Or how about this quiz? I'm back in that dream where I keep changing into different pieces from different games. Help me get out of this nightmare by figuring out what game I'm playing. Whoops, I just... Never mind, I just switched away from that one. I actually just, I clicked I'd like another surprise and I can't get back to that one. How about literature? Who wants a literature category? First lines of famous novels. First lines of famous novels. I won't know. You might, Vanna. You might. You might get a couple. When Mr. Bilbo Baggins of Bag End announced that he would shortly be celebrating his 11st birthday with a party of special magnificence, there was much talk and excitement in Hobbiton. When Mr. Bilbo Baggins of Bag End announced that he would shortly be celebrating his 11st birthday with a party of special magnificence, there was much talk and excitement in Hobbiton. Not The Hobbit. You are obviously close, Vanna, Dr. Seuss. You are very close, Vanna. Lord of the Rings, yep. The Fellowship of the Rings, specifically. Number 2. This one should not be difficult to get, considering it's literally one of the most famous names in literature. Scarlett O'Hara was not beautiful, but men seldom realized it when caught by her charm as the Tarleton twins were. Scarlett O'Hara was not beautiful, but men seldom realized it when caught by her charm as the Tarleton twins were. The Scarlet Letter? No. Come on, somebody's got to recognize the name Scarlett O'Hara. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. There you go. Options listed: The Last of the Mohicans, War and Peace, The Count of Monte Cristo, or Gone with the Wind. How Your Sister Was One. So obviously, Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. Scarlett O'Hara is the main character of Gone with the Wind. She's like one of the most famous characters in literature. In cinema, too. One of the most famous characters in cinema. Here is Edward Bear, coming downstairs now. Bump, bump, bump. On the back of his head, behind Christopher Robin. Here is Edward Bear, coming downstairs now. Bump, bump, bump. On the back of his head, behind Christopher Robin. Reading about the Beast Boy getting fired from Teen Titans. Beast Boy got fired? Rude. What did he do? Actually, I should say, what did he do? What did Beast Boy do? And yes, obviously, Winnie the Pooh. Oh, bother. Oh, bother. Once there were 4 children. Used to be a crazy anti-vaxxer. Said he had Parkinson's but cured it. Secret. Oh, do you mean the actor? I thought it was like a comic book thing. Like I thought it was like in the comics. Like I thought it was like a weird comic book story where the character got kicked off the team. So you mean like actor from a show? He's voiced Beast Boy in Teen Titans. Okay, that's less amusing. Yeah, that is significantly less amusing. That is Mr. Beast? No, that is somebody different. Question 4. Once there were 4 children whose names were Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy. Once there were 4 children whose names were Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy. Peter Pan? No. Flowers in the Attic? No. Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy. No one recognizes those names? All right, here's the options then. I'll give you the options. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Of Mice and Men, To Kill a Mockingbird, or Anne of Green Gables. Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Of Mice and Men, To Kill a Mockingbird, or Anne of Green Gables. The last one. It's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It's Narnia. They're the kids from the Narnia series. God damn, no one knows Narnia? No one here has read or watched any Narnia stuff? Come on. Flowers in the Attic. I've never read that book. All children, except one, grow up. And everyone through that door? All children, except one, grow up. Peter Pan? Peter Pan? Okay. Yeah, you were a question too early with that guess, Uncle Buck. The answer is Peter Pan. The Lost Boys don't grow up. Well, take it up with J.M. Barrie. Not so long ago, a monster came to the small town of Castle Rock, Maine. Not so long ago, a monster came to the small town of Castle Rock, Maine. Not it. You're on the right path, but Frankenstein. Frankenstein in Maine. I will say, the fact that it's in Maine, that already tells you who the writer is. So you just need to figure out which Stephen King book it is. It's like, set in Maine. Oh, that's gonna be Stephen King. Anyway, the options: Beloved by Toni Morrison, The Great Gatsby, Lamb to the Slaughter by Roald Dahl, or Cujo. The answer is Cujo, by the way. It's from Cujo. Cujo's the one that he has no recollection of ever writing, right? Cujo's the one that Stephen King fully does not remember that he writing any of. I think. Like he was just so fucking high out of his mind at that point, just so drugged up that he has no memory of writing Cujo. Hey, Jordan. Hey, Anastasia. There's a fucked up dog. Seen the movie, but I won't read the book. So Jordan and Anastasia, we're doing trivia. The category is the first lines of famous novels. So these are the first lines of famous novels. So next one. Marley was dead to begin with. There is no doubt whatever about that. I hope people get this one. Marley was dead to begin with. There is no doubt whatever about that. The boy dies in the book. Scrooge. Not the name of the book. That's not the name of the book. Marley and Me. Jesus Christ, kill face. What the fuck? Wasn't Marley and Me a movie about some guy with a dog? And yes, A Christmas Carol. Dog die in that? I mean, probably. Wouldn't be surprised if Marley does die, but I feel like that's something that gets saved for like the end of the book. You know, like an alphabet when it comes to novels. Yeah, Christmas Carol. Which, I mean, people should have watched Muppet Christmas Carol, right? With Gonzo as Charles Dickens. This is another book I've never read, but I was able to guess what the answer was for this one. Christmas won't be Christmas without any presents, grumbled Joe, lying on the rug. Joe spelled J-O. Christmas won't be Christmas without any presents, grumbled Joe, lying on the rug. I'm not watching a Muppet Christmas Carol. Good movie, though. And yes, Joe is spelled J-O. Grinch, not Grinch. I forget how the Grinch starts. The options listed are A Christmas Carol, which we know it's not that, Little Women, Madame Bovary, or Orlando. And yeah, Little Women. The fact that Joe gave it away for me, because like that's the most famous Joe in literature. Again, I've never read the book, but I don't need to know who Joe is. The great fish moves silently through the night water, propelled by short sweeps of its crescent tail. The great fish moved silently through the night water, propelled by short sweeps of its crescent tail. You're Joe? Jojo? Joey Jojo? Not Moby Dick. Moby Dick starts Call Me Ishmael. Moby Dick has literally one of the most famous opening lines in all of literature. Call me Ishmael. Yeah, that's... Joey doesn't share food. Sorry, Killface. I'm sorry. Anyway, Uncle Buck was correct. It's Jaws by Peter Benchley. All right, let's see if this is one that people will get. I would think probably. Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank and of having nothing to do. Once or twice she had peeped into the book her sister was reading, but it had no pictures or conversations in it. And what is the use of a book, thought Alice, without pictures or conversation? Didn't know Jaws was a book. Yeah, it started off as a book. And then Spielberg adapted it. Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank and of having nothing to do. Once or twice she had peeped into the book her sister was reading, but it had no pictures or conversations in it. And what is the use of a book, thought Alice, without pictures or conversation? Man, that is a long opening sentence. That's all one sentence, by the way. It's all just one sentence. Throw in a fucking picture. Throw in a fucking period once in a while, dude. And yes, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. Amerigo Bonacera sat in New York Criminal Court Number 3 and waited for justice, vengeance on the men who had so cruelly hurt his daughter, who had tried to dishonor her. Amerigo Bonacera sat in New York Criminal Court Number 3 and waited for justice, vengeance on the men who had so cruelly hurt his daughter, who had tried to dishonor her. The options: 2001: A Space Odyssey, The Godfather, True Grit, or Love Story. So this one is absolutely going to be a guess. Missed the question my kid called? All right. One more time. I'll read the quote one more time, Killface. Amerigo Bonacera sat in New York Criminal Court Number 3 and waited for justice, vengeance on the men who had so cruelly hurt his daughter, who had tried to dishonor her. Options: 2001: A Space Odyssey, The Godfather, True Grit, or Love Story? Dennis says Love Story, Killface says Godfather, Uncle Buck says Bob Father. The answer actually is The Godfather by Mario Puzo. Never seen these movies, I'm surprised. I've also never watched The Godfather. Again, I suspect this one probably going to be one that people will have to guess. You better not never tell nobody but God. You better not never tell nobody but God. To Kill a Mockingbird, The Color Purple, The Green Mile, or The Big Sleep. I get that Godfather 2 is better than 1, but I haven't seen any. Yeah, I've never watched either. Never watched any of the Godfather movies. So yeah, Kill a Mockingbird, Color Purple, Green Mile, or Big Sleep. Say it again. You better not never tell nobody but God. And yeah, that one actually was The Color Purple. Good job, Vanna and Killface. Okay, here's another long one. It's not Green Mile. I love that book and movie. Yeah, it was Color Purple. Seen the movie a bunch. If you really want to hear about it, the first thing you'll probably want to know is where I was born and what my lousy childhood was like, and how my parents were occupied and all before they had me, and all that David Copperfield kind of crap. But I don't feel like going into it if you want to know the truth. One more time. If you really want to hear about it, the first thing you'll probably want to know is where I was born and what my lousy childhood was like, and how my parents were occupied and all that and all before they had me, and all that David Copperfield kind of crap. But I don't feel like going into it if you want to know the truth. Options: David Copperfield, Catcher in the Rye, Fahrenheit 451, or The Red Badge of Courage. Saw the last 20 minutes of that movie as the teen that killed me. Don't know this one. It's not Fahrenheit 451, Reno 911. This one is The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. Hated The Red Badge of Courage. I had to read it in 5th grade. Never read that one. Also never read The Catcher in the Rye. It was 7 o'clock of a very warm evening in the Seeonee Hills when Father Wolf woke up from his day's rest, scratched himself, yawned, and spread out his paws one after the other to get rid of the sleepy feeling in their tips. It was 7 o'clock of a very warm evening in the Seeonee Hills when Father Wolf woke up from his day's rest, scratched himself, yawned, and spread out his paws one after the other to get rid of the sleepy feeling in their tips. Oh. Bye, Killface. I will be gone in a few minutes, Killface. Just probably after this quiz. Probably just gonna finish up this quiz and then close out the live. Options are Animal Farm, The Jungle Book, The Time Machine, or The Pearl. Animal Farm, The Jungle Book, The Time Machine, The Pearl. Animal Farm, Jungle Book. It is, in fact, The Jungle Book. And last question of the evening. This will be the last question of the whole night. Last night I dreamt I went to Manderley again. Last night I dreamt I went to Manderley again. Options: The Maltese Falcon, The Mirror Cracked, Rebecca, or The Hound of the Baskervilles. Last night I dreamt of San Pedro. Last night I dreamt I went to Manderley again. The Maltese Falcon, The Mirror Cracked, Rebecca, or The Hound of the Baskervilles. Anyone care to guess? It was actually Rebecca. Rebecca by Daphne. Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. What am I reading? I was looking at another opening lines of literature to see if I would get them, and man. Last question of the year? Yes. I was not about to start another quiz. I was just looking at another quiz just to see if I would know them. For the most part, nope. What am I reading is the last question? Of course, of course. All right, so I hope that was fun for everybody. If not, well, not my problem. Anyway, so let me get going. So thanks for coming. And good night, everybody.